Bethany Lynn Dwyer,
Yes.
will you marry me?
Yes.
Oh,
a couple
shit.
of nuts getting married.
Couple of nuts getting married.
Well, no. A couple of
Whoa.
nuts got engaged. Yeah.
Bethany
Bethany
and Sean.
and Sean.
We are a couple of nuts talking.
Getting engaged. That's what happened.
That's right, nuts. You are listening to the newly engaged couple of nuts. High five.
High five. Boom.
Fucking, so far, we're killing this engagement.
Killing it.
Oh, so what? Let's just tell the story. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, what's up, nuts?
Yeah.
How's it going?
How you guys doing?
We miss you.
We do.
Missed you. And
We wish you could all been there too.
I know. We couldn't
You
wait.
can. We can watch it on
Yeah.
our Instagrams. Couple
Yeah,
of nuts.
yeah, we'll post it. Couldn't wait to share the news with you all. We got engaged after 6 years of dating. How about
I feel like
that?
once you say 6 years, it's
like not-
anticlimactic.
I know.
Because people are just like, oh, I get that all the time.
Wait, you guys
How
weren't
long-
married already?
Yeah. Like, how long are you guys together? Oh, here's the natural progression. Oh my God, I saw you got engaged. Congratulations. Oh my God, that's amazing. Congrats. How long you guys been together? 6 years. Oh.
Oh.
It's like, wait, what?
Okay. Right.
Like, is it because we've already done such a good job being together?
I
It
know.
doesn't count?
It's
Is it because
crazy.
now, I don't understand why it makes it any less.
Neither do I, but nuts, go ahead and follow us, ACON Podcast on
Mhm.
Instagram, a couple of nuts talking podcast on Facebook. And please follow the Apples and Spotifys and leave reviews.
Anchor and all that.
Anchor.
And now
is
we
the-
get up on Facebook. It's so easy. It's one click.
Yeah, Facebook does podcasts now too.
Yeah.
Posts podcasts.
Yeah, it's
And
great.
we're rolling on there.
We're killing it right now. I'll
We're
tell you that
killing
much.
it. Can't thank you all enough for listening to us.
Yeah. So when this comes out, it'll be like a month later.
Yeah.
So just know we got engaged on All Hallows Eve.
I proposed to Bethany on October 30th. Let's just talk about how romantic I am.
Wow.
Shall we? Isn't that great? Men are so romantic, and like chicks don't have to do anything romantic.
because we are keeping it together
that's not,
at all times.
I'm not going to argue with you
If
there.
we have to put together what it takes to be a woman and all the, now mind you, I'm not typical, like, but I'm talking as if I was like a regular woman.
Yeah.
All the things that they endure and put themselves through, which by the way is their own choice, because I don't think a lot of the men, if they actually love their woman, would care if they did all that. And what I'm speaking of is the eyebrows, the hair, the face, the stuff they stick inside their face, the nails, the skin, right?
Yeah.
Just like every fucking thing.
Shoes.
Can I just say something and then we'll go back to the engagement? This society, media, magazines, everybody. It drives me nuts that nobody celebrates the human body. It's all about, if you have straight hair, then I want straight hair, even though mine's curly. If you have big bushy eyebrows, I need to have big. It's like whatever's natural, we can't just go, I love it.
Yeah.
That's what's in. What's in is whatever I was born with. Now, granted, if we have like, a mustache or something as a girl,
It's kind of a
handle
double-edged
that.
sword, though, honey,
Why?
because they do celebrate the human body, such as, but
How exactly?
makes-
But
that's what I'm saying.
look at
it's a
what's happening
double-edged
with the
sword.
butt.
It makes people feel a certain. You can't make any, but people do. People get affected by what they see on the TV or in the news or what gets attention. So, for the longest time there was like fat shaming and all that stuff, but now there's skinny shaming. Like it's,
Oh yeah,
it's so crazy.
I get it all the time.
It's all over the place. Like it could be, a plus size model who's pretty and they just talk about how amazing she is. And then the poor skinny kid is like, I need to look like that now. You know what I'm saying?
But this is what I mean. We allow all of these outside factors and like, who are they who's going to dictate what looks good and doesn't look good? But then people fancy it because, oh, there's like 125 million followers, or this happens or that happens. But it's like, what happened to just being like, I mean, do you remember when eye color was a big deal? Like, everyone was trying to figure out how to change their eye color.
Yeah.
Like, you
Who's
could
that
go
lady
blind.
that dyed her eyes
T.I.'s girl, Little Tiny. No.
blue? Yeah.
T.I.
Didn't they get into some weird, like, pedophile shit or something?
I don't think T.I. did. I don't know.
I thought she
can't
did.
remember
Or
her
maybe it was a
name.
domestic violent thing. I don't
She's
know.
interesting looking, and she wanted her eye color changed. And so she went to another country
Yeah.
and got it done.
Yeah.
Now, one of the first things you hear about when you look up stuff about changing eye color is all the wrongs that happen. And basically, you could go blind.
Yeah.
Like, why would you ever?
I'm even against contact lenses because that's,
Yeah,
that's a foreign body inside of your eyeball.
Yeah, I am too.
I mean, they work, sure, but I remember my mom
I'm
was
not
always,
against it, like, if anyone else uses
my
it.
mom was always having trouble with her contact. She's like, oh,
My mom
her
too.
eye- she was really pulling her eye down
I
to try to
know.
like readjust it.
Yeah,
It
ugh.
would like
I
fold
can't
up
even
in her
watch it.
eye, or it would pop out of her
I
eye
can't.
just randomly.
Yeah, I can't
What's with
watch it.
contact lenses popping out of eyes?
It's just everything. Like, I'm just going to keep going to the female, but like the butts now. No one can just have the dope ass booty they were born with.
booties.
I know some women with it.
I love big butts, but these fake butts are weird looking.
They are very weird looking, and it's going against like the natural form. And I'm not a guy, so maybe they're totally digging it, because I think the porn industry is kind of not starting. I think in the last 20 years, the porn industry, maybe more than that, since like mid 90s, porn industry has set the tone for what women's bodies should look like, how their hair care should be.
I would blame more of like Instagram and stuff like that. I wouldn't blame the porn industry.
I know you don't want to, but let me explain. Before Instagram and social media, the porn industry is what kind of thwarted the let me finish. Thwarted the design of what our pubes should look like. Let's put that out there.
Was
So-
that the porn industry that did
Oh,
that?
absolutely. They started shaving their whole pussum area, and it became clean and clear. And then then they started doing landing strips. Or even before that, they just started to wax on the sides. And
Right.
that became a thing.
Little
right?
landing strip. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, but like not as not as intense, like just the sides, so that when you were in a bathing
Yeah.
suit, right?
Yeah.
And then, it got all different ways. And I think Pam Anderson's the one who, when her video came out,
Oh,
is
Pam
when
and
it started.
Tommy Lee video.
I think that she's the one who kind of thwarted the whole clean your puss entirely.
Did you ever see that video?
No.
It's pretty dope.
I heard he's hung.
I know. Oh yeah, he's got a big old dick, and I know they're bummed out that it happened. But are they? Because they got super
Yeah.
rich from it. But there's a point where he's got a big old dick. He's steering the boat with his dick, like with the big, the big thing.
Yeah.
Like he's using it. And then there's even one point where Pam is sucking him, and it's from his POV
Yeah.
point of view, so he's looking down, and he's like, "Oh shit, baby! Oh, that's so fucking rad! Oh, that's rad!" The way she's sucking
Yeah.
him, he kept saying it's rad.
Can I just say that it's interesting that you know verbatim what the video says and what's going on?
I've seen the video multiple times, honey. That
By
was
multiple,
that
put
was
a number.
stay. That was a thing.
How many times you jack off to it?
I don't know if I ever jacked off to because it was always, I think, in a group setting when
High
we watched
five.
it.
Oh, okay. So you would have if you weren't.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm sure I did. I'm sure I had the VHS on my own at some point
Yeah.
and fucking yanked one out.
Yeah.
But,
Or at least closed your eyes and remembered.
I mean, as far as pornos go, that's probably I've seen that porno probably more than any other. Actually, Edward Penis Hands I saw quite a bit. But I think that Pam.
Edward Penis Hands?
Yeah. Oh, that's a thing.
Okay.
Edward Penis Hands, honey. Is this?
So
anyways,
he's got hands
so-
with a bunch of dildos on it?
just two big fat cocks on his hands. And when the actor actually comes,
No, tell me his hands come.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But
that is
I wanted to answer your question
delectable.
about the Pam and Tommy. I've probably seen it 3 to 5 times,
Okay.
which is more, all the other pornos in my life that kind of just
How many
you
times
by.
did you see Edward Penis Hands?
Edward Penis Hands was another one that I probably saw 3 to 5 times.
Okay.
Because he had the whole outfit that fucking
Babe,
exactly how
we
Depp
might
is
have to
dressed.
make you see it a 6th time because I might need to.
He fucking
watch
bangs
that.
her like he'd got giant dildos on
Does
his
he do
hands.
3 ladies at once?
And he's got it's like the Edward Scissorhands story.
Oh.
I think I'll have to.
How dope would that have been though if he got 3 bitches in there and he just had each hand in one and then his real dick.
He might have. But it's
why
funny
would they lose
where,
that?
like the hands, if I'm remembering correctly, it's like a ball sack. It's like round where his kind of wrists are.
Oh my god.
And then when he comes, the hands squirt. He's like,
that's dope.
And his
you know
hands
what that
are
reminds me
shaking
of?
and
Like
coming.
it's like Weird Al with songs.
Yeah.
But like you get to make porn spoofs. That's fun.
Oh, that's a whole thing, I think. Babe.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying that's like fun. I would love to
I'm
be
sure
the one
there's
who
a
comes up
porn
with those
for
ideas.
Every fucking thing you can think of. I know there's like Simpsons porn.
Oh, that's weird. Cartoons.
Yeah.
But I know it's a thing.
There's probably like
All right,
a Dora
I'm gonna go back.
Explorer
I'm gonna go back
porn.
to what we were talking about because this is we were just talking in the
There's
car about
probably
this.
Star Wars porn.
There definitely is Star Wars porn.
Probably Indiana
Come on, even I know that.
Jones porn.
Stop.
There's probably Ninja Turtle porn.
Don't make me take this ring off.
Wow.
Yeah. See what
So
I can
that's
do now?
So anyways, let's get to the engagement and now what encompasses all of that. And all like that. Now that's a new thing she could say to me now.
Yeah.
That was never there before. Don't make me take this ring off. So now there's new things that have been introduced into our relationship in our lives.
You know how many girls I know who are like, oh, I fucking took my ring off and I threw it at him. It's just like, I don't know why, but I feel like you only have one time you can do that.
Right.
After that, it's just not effective.
Yeah. Well, I think if you did that to me, I'd be not even what you said or what you were implying, like the diamonds, baby.
Yeah,
the
the
diamonds.
diamonds.
Don't ship the diamonds.
Like I get that you're invigorated and like you have a lot of passion, but like careful of but the diamonds are so strong. That's the point.
But still, that's where my mind would go. That's where my
head goes.
But
all
anyway, so Edward Penis Hands, done Pam, Tommy Lee. How
we were going.
Why would we
because
talk about
I
that?
wanted to finish my thing.
Oh,
of what I
about
was
how
talking about.
society and
it's so
society.
sad.
Yeah,
like as people, all we have to start doing is going. I don't care what you say. I don't care that I need to look like a blow-up doll, and that's what you're telling me. I don't want to. I don't want to.
But do you ever think that those people that do it do want to?
No, they do want to, but they don't understand why. Because if they were taught when they were younger that they're beautiful and they're always enough and they don't need to be anything else.
You're beautiful.
Now, mind you.
You're beautiful. It's true. Who was that guy?
Can I just finish?
Who sang that song, though?
I'm not going to help you because this
James
happens
Blake.
No, close.
James Blunt.
Mm-hmm. It's not James, like is it? Is it Jason?
Does he talk like this? Hey,
no,
everybody,
he doesn't.
James. Okay. Keep going with your
What I'm saying is it's fine to do like a little this or that, but when you change the way you look entirely, okay, that is something that's learned and something that was programmed into you, that you're not enough unless you do X, Y, and Z. Yeah. That's the part I'm saying. Why not? If like you're a parent now, if you have kids, fucking start today. Oh my God, you're
let's
enough.
give a lot of parents credit because a lot of parents, I'm sure, do that.
I hope so.
But there are also probably things going on out there where that's not happening.
No. Well, and it doesn't matter. It's a big issue. This wasn't going to be our focus today, but we'll come back to this.
No, I mean, do you want to keep going, babe? Like,
it makes me sad. It makes me sad.
This podcast is making me sad when it's supposed to be a really fun, glorious,
No.
beautiful
People
podcast.
will like
there
it.
you go.
People will like it though, because I'm sure they relate. But it makes
every time
me
we
sad.
go from deodorant ingredients, how they're trying to kill us and they're
you know what it is? We have no one but ourselves to talk about
and all that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Just let me. Will you stop talking
honey,
over me?
I always like.
Oh
stop!
God!
Don't even play this game right now. Don't even. I'm gonna take that ring back.
It's sitting right there because it's so heavy on my hand.
Look at that thing.
Unless I'm out in public, I don't.
That
put
is
it on.
a fat ass ring. I never imagined me giving you that type of ring. I thought I'd give you like a little skinny thing with like one little diamond on it. That thing is fucking banging.
Well, that's because you look at my hand.
Got tiny
and
little
that's
hands.
I have real skinny, long fingers.
Yeah.
And so the last thing you picture on me is like great grandma, heirloom.
Well, this
through
wasn't
the
my great
years.
grandma, but
I
it
mean,
might
you
have
know
been
what
my
I'm
great
saying?
grandma's. I know it's my grandma. I don't know the history on it. But
Well,
anyways, are you
because
done with your
here's the reason
PSA
I
about
say that.
society and all
Here's
that?
the reason I say that is because we are now finding out it's from like the 20s.
Yeah.
So even if it was your grandma's, it had to have been passed down.
Yeah.
That's
or
what I'm
even
saying.
if she bought it, it was made
It was vintage then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
bought it vintage.
So it's dope. Anyways,
But
guys,
yeah,
let's tell them the story.
so let's just get
Let's do even because I don't even know this. Like, what was happening? Like, take me to the moment before you're like, we're just 6 years in, and then the day you were like, I'm gonna ask her to marry me. What happened?
I mean, we talked about marriage before, so I had thought about it, obviously.
We thought about it. We talked about it generally.
And it kicked in. It really kicked in full throttle, full gear. I'm going to ask. Because I started bouncing around with the idea, I want to ask you on Halloween. So it was months ago that I started thinking about it. And the planning of it began and stuff like that. So I don't remember exactly when, but a few months I started really thinking about it, and then I started telling people it. So I was manifesting it. Because, I could have just thought it and be like, I'm going to propose to her. And then it never would have happened. So I started talking about, I don't remember who the first one I told was. It might have been my buddy DJ, or it might have been Greg. But it was a few months ago. Was it? Anyways.
No, find out. I like this.
I don't remember. I might be in my text. I erased all my texts, though.
You did?
Taking up space. Yeah, I get rid of my text conversations.
Wow.
Just because it takes up space. Not any other reason.
Wow.
Not any other reason, fiance.
Yeah.
Not any other reason.
I have no idea because I don't ever.
So it was a few months ago where I started to actually vocalize it. I'm going to propose to her. And then the thought of it would make me smile. I'd be sitting there in the car by myself or wherever, and I'd smile thinking about it. And then I started, then I got to think about the ring. I got to get her a ring. And then I started looking at rings. Like, what am I supposed to get you? This and that. And then I told my dad that I was going to propose to you. And then he told me that my grandma Roz, my mom's mom, had left a ring. Now, she had left me other rings also, but I had pawned those.
Wow.
Years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like when she passed away, like 8 or 9 years ago. And I was drunk and on drugs.
Yeah. What made you stop at this ring?
I'm not drunk and on drugs.
Well, but I'm saying, weren't you?
No, I
weren't
didn't even
they
know this
available?
ring. I didn't even know this ring existed
Oh,
until
thank
a few
goodness.
months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I probably would have tried to get it and pawn it.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, not in the last 4 years that I've been sober, but
No,
prior
of
to
course.
that, for
Yeah.
sure, I would have tried to get that and pawn it, babe. Come on.
But look at how that works.
Everything worked. Everything worked out crazy. But anyways.
So you asked your dad.
So I told him.
Oh,
and then
told him.
he's like, that's so exciting, son. And then he responded like a day later, like, just so you know, Grandma Roz left you this ring, and it's this old fucking
Dope ring.
Now, my grandmother's maiden name is Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
See where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then she got married to my grandpa, my mom's dad, Harold Goldclank.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying
Very
with this?
good
She's
name.
Jewish.
Yeah.
I'm Jewish.
You're Jewish.
So this ring, not to say that like, my peeps are into these types of things. I'm sure everybody's into gaudy jewelry.
Well,
gaudy,
I mean,
Gawdy?
gaudy, yeah.
Gaudy jewelry.
But, well, just so you know, I'm Italian.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are so similar
We're identical.
to Jews. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. That's why we get along. So
Yeah.
that's why I've always got along with like, people from the East Coast. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a thing. And so
We need to get jogging pantsuits.
So a few months ago, I started to manifest it and actually vocalize it. Then I started telling friends, and I told, my cousin Taylor wanted to come stay with us Halloween weekend.
Yeah,
Remember he hit
I
us up
do.
like a month and a half ago or something. And I had to tell him then, no, we're going to be out of town, which I told him, you didn't even know,
Yeah.
like, because we didn't plan the Halloween getaway. So that came a little later, but so I'm losing track because that's how my brain works.
That's okay. You were telling people. You started telling
Started
people.
vocalizing it, and then I met up with my dad, got the ring, had to go get it resized and cleaned up for you. I mean, I'm surprised the dead giveaway when we ordered those ring measurement things we got off the internet, because you didn't know.
I had no idea.
You didn't know that I was going to propose to you.
No.
And so I started planning. I started practicing at home whenever you were at work and I had time and I was at home by myself. I would, in here in the bedroom, I'd get down in front of this mirror right here.
Oh, I wish you recorded that.
And like I would hold the ring box up to the mirror and I'd be like, Bethany Lynn, you're the most amazing. You're the most beautiful, most smartest.
You said funniest.
Funniest woman that I know, the most caring. I had all these things and I nailed it. Every time I practiced it, I got choked up.
Yeah.
I got choked up when I was here by myself.
Looking at yourself.
At how amazing and romantic I am, but also the thought of you. And
Yeah.
you are all those things. But me just doing what I was doing, getting me choked up.
Yeah.
So I practiced for weeks. And then
so what you're saying is the thought of how good you were at your plans got you choked
so
up.
fucking
I just wanted to
romantic.
clarify to
Yeah,
people
yeah,
that it
yeah.
wasn't really the sentiment of what you were saying.
No.
It was the fact of how
I
great
just
you
clarified
were doing.
that it was, so stop.
Okay, I'm just kidding.
But and then the stars just started aligning, and one thing after the other, and Halloween weekend, and we haven't done Halloween is like our thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much my thing too that I have vintage Halloween tattoos. I collect and I deal with vintage Halloween specifically. It's just this time of year is everything, and Halloween is our jam. We love that shit. So I figured, what better time than Halloween to do it, right?
Yeah, and then I actually think that's part of why I had no idea, because it's just like what we do.
Right.
There wasn't any like random thing that you like. If you were like, we're going to Cancun.
Right.
I would be like, I know. You know what? I probably still wouldn't have thought. I would.
I don't think
like,
you would have had any idea,
No.
especially if it was for Halloween weekend.
Yeah.
So, last Halloween we couldn't do anything, and we never do anything too crazy for Halloween.
We just do our stuff,
just
like what
our
we like
stuff.
doing.
So we figured it just so happened for work for me that I was able to not have to go to work for like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And it just, everything started lining up. So we planned a trip, or I started figuring out, where am I going to do this? So the first place I thought, we'll go to a pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
We'll shop for pumpkins.
Adorable.
And then I'll pretend like we're going to take some haunted air photos so we can bring the tripod. It won't be questionable. We'll dress up cute just because we were going to look cool in this pumpkin patch. And then I'll hit my knee right there in a pumpkin patch.
You know what would have been cool is if you put it in a pumpkin and I got to smash the pumpkin.
That would put the ring in danger.
Okay.
So that's not happening.
Okay.
And then I started looking for like corn maze pumpkin patches. So we would have gone through like a corn maze, and then like in the middle of this cornfield.
It'd be like something romantical, like a rose and a candle.
Not more like big stalks of corn.
Oh.
And like hay.
Okay.
And pumpkins everywhere.
Yeah. That's good too.
I know. I think that's adorable.
It's adorable.
And there's even corn mazes that have like fake Michael Myers dummies in them and stuff
really?
like that. So something horror related.
That I would like, yeah.
Yeah. So then I was like, let's do that. And then I figured there's this other thing in Calabasas called the Night of the Jacks or something, where there's like 50,000 jack-o'-lanterns lit
Yeah, didn't
up.
I even send you? I was like, oh, look, we got a
Yeah, you
coupon
did.
because we've always talked about wanting to go there.
So we had a coupon for it. And there's even like this one area of it where there's like a walkway that has orange sparkling lights all around. So you're just surrounded by it. So I figured that would have been the best place. But then I was reading reviews on it. It's like they rush you through it, especially with COVID. So that couldn't have been romantic.
Well, you could have asked them, though, and say.
I could have.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah.
And then we figured. And then I thought the Winchester Mystery House. Like, how cool would that be to go up there?
Because we've never been there.
I've been there once.
No, I know.
And I was stoned. I
I
don't even
know.
remember it. I smoked so much pot, but we had never been there together. So that's another thing. She wouldn't have any idea because it's not like it was our place or anything like that. So me, again, creating amazing new memories because I'm so romantic. So we planned this trip.
You okay? You need a tissue and you're going to make yourself a again?
We planned this trip to go up to the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose. which is this giant fucking mansion type thing where the wife of the, what's his fucking name?
Winchester.
Henry Winchester, something like that. The Winchester rifle guy. He had died of tuberculosis, and his wife was into the fucking paranormal and like spiritual world and shit like that. And
She'd go to mediums and psychics.
well, she had a seance room, but a medium had told her that she was going to be haunted by every soul that was killed by a Winchester rifle. So this lady, went crazy and started building onto her mansion to like kind of confuse the ghosts and stuff. She thought the noise. So anyways, they built under her mansion 24/7 for like years.
Oh no, his name's William.
William Winchester.
That's crazy. That's every man in my family.
See, the stars aligned. This is what I'm talking about.
Crazy.
So we went up to the Winchester house, which is supposedly this haunted, spooky house. It's got staircases that lead up to ceilings. It's got doorways that open from like the second and third stories just to nothing.
To nothing. Like you would just fall out of the house and die.
So she kept building onto her house to confuse the ghosts.
Since 1886.
Yeah. And it went on for years till she died. Like
160 room.
It's insane.
House, they said.
It's this beautiful house. And the tour, was an hour long, and there were fucking kids. So anyways, we're going to the Winchester Mystery House. We make that plan, and I'm like, this is it. I got the ring, all of that. We plan the drive.
We had to wake up at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, because you have to schedule a tour time. So we scheduled at 11:15.
Well, and he scheduled it then because you took a minute to get the ticket.
Well, it was they do special stuff for Halloween, and apparently a lot of other people like to. And it's also limited because of the fucking COVID. Fucking fuck you, COVID. Because so you can only a certain amount of people could go in there.
Yeah.
So now everything is,
So
or they're
it was
just
like
using
the
it as an
only time.
excuse.
Yeah, but it was interesting because it was the only time available. So we had to go then, which meant we had to wake up at 5 a.m.
Well, it was 10:45 or 11:15 were available.
Yeah. And so we picked 11:15, or I thought it was 11:20.
Might have been 11:20.
Yeah, that's what you told me. And then, we woke up. We packed the night before and woke up early. And it was funny because he kept saying, like, dress for haunted air. We'll take haunted air pictures.
Yeah, so I did the same thing. I said we're going to take some haunted air photos while we're up there, so she wouldn't question why if we brought in the little tripod and the camera to set that up.
Because you knew you were going to take pictures of us.
Well, I wanted to film me proposing to you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then so one thing about Sean is like he'll have the ideas and they're great. Like he wanted to film us and do all this stuff. But then the last minute he will do like, no offense, but little like half-ass self-sabotages that will
I don't execute my plans very well.
Yeah, like you come up with these great plans and then you get like really weird right before them. So like we are going to take the tripod and we are going to bring another camera and we are going to like dress up and we are going to bring extra clothes.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you're just like, I don't want to carry this. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, because you got to understand, I was still trying to figure out how am I going to say it. I had so many other things. I can't plan setting up a photo shoot and all that shit.
You can.
And also, it was like a gated thing and to carry this giant tripod around.
Well, see, and that's the other thing is Sean won't tell anybody or ask anybody. Like in any of these instances of what you wanted to plan, had you just called them and like, hey, I'm planning to propose, they would be all about it because those types of things get them likes on Instagram and
which they did.
They promo, of course.
We'll get to that.
No. I'm saying any of these places.
I fucking am so romantic, and what I did was so amazing. No matter how you try to downplay it,
I'm not downplaying it.
You have never done anything
No.
romantic like that.
I'm not downplaying that. I'm just trying to show that when we tell the story of how things
I was
align.
more in my head about now I'm going to do this. Where am I going to do it? How am I going to do it?
Yeah.
So we drive up to San Jose. It's a
and I randomly
4.5 hour drive
per usual. I guess not randomly then. I per usual am just taking like videos of us and
documenting the trip.
I'm documenting the trip like we do.
Yeah.
And little did I know that I would be able to cut that into our engagement video.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
How many people have engagement videos, huh?
That's why sometimes when I think how you were right before we were leaving in the morning and you were like, oh, I'm not going to bring that. I don't want to carry that. Now that I know what the day was, that I would have been so pissed if we didn't get that recorded.
Yeah.
because
Wait, what?
because of how aloof you were at the end. Like not wanting to take a different camera, not wanting to take any of the tripods, not getting close, all that stuff.
Not getting what? Was the last thing?
Like getting dressed. Remember we were going to wear these certain outfits and then last minute you're like, I don't want to wear that. I'm just wearing this. And then I just wore
because I was
something
picturing
comfy.
us matching in the video, and that just wouldn't have looked good to me.
Yeah.
Us wearing matching.
Well, because guys,
sweaters.
for Haunted Air, we usually match.
Yeah.
In our clothes.
And we have these matching Halloween sweaters that we wear.
Oh, yeah, because that's what I kept pushing.
Right.
Oh, I see. So I kept pushing, like, let's just wear our sweaters. But then you kept saying it's Haunted Air. And then I was like, oh, yeah, that's not good for Haunted Air.
Well, it is good for Haunted Air, but just not for a proposal
Yeah.
video and pictures, I had thought.
Yeah.
So we get up to San Jose. We get to the Winchester Mystery House. And I got, I had to sneak in the back seat and get the ring out of my backpack, and it's just a square box. And at the jeweler I went to, they had like these dope velvety rounded boxes, which would have looked better.
Yeah, in
but
your
the ring
pocket.
is so fucking big, it wouldn't
didn't
close.
fit.
It wouldn't fit. So she had to get this other one with a little fake piece of finger in it, and it's a square box. And I'm like, fuck, she's gonna see this thing in my pocket. And luckily, you didn't.
I don't.
So I had this big old square box in my pocket for an hour of us in this tour.
But now and that's what happened with the video is after the engagement, and then I went through all of the footage, then I saw the ring, the like square in your pocket.
Yeah.
And then
You were able to
but
point that out in the video.
I never looked at it, never thought about it. You also always have so much shit in your pockets. Like you got a knife and you got your wallet and you got pens and you got fucking your phone.
I'm prepared, honey.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying like.
You always got to be prepared.
I'm never looking at your pockets trying to dissect what's in there.
Except for that one time when I came back from the doctor on Sunday and you were like, what's in your pockets?
Yeah, because nobody goes to a doctor on Sunday.
There was heroin in my pockets.
There was heroin and I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Next. Go back to the story.
Okay, so we're at Winchester Mystery House and we do the tour and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going to do this. I got to do it.
And what's funny is I thought he was just hating. Okay, so
well, there's that too.
There was like 6 kids in our tour.
There's that too.
And they were constantly thinking they were adorable by asking
my
stupid questions.
God.
And I mean stupid questions. Like
they thought they were the fun. There were like 6 kids that range from the ages, I want to say like 9 to like 13 maybe.
The worst, yeah.
They thought they were the funniest, so they were making noises the whole goddamn tour. How did William Winchester die? What was that? And even the fucking tour.
No. What was tuberculosis?
What was tuberculosis? What was that like?
And then she died in her sleep, and one of the girls was like, did she know she was going to die? No, bitch. Who fucking knows you're going to die? Shut your mouth.
It literally, no joke, got to the point where the tour guide was like, I'll take your question in a minute. Like, she had to stop the kids because they were asking so everywhere we went. Why does the wallpaper look like this? What's that mean? What's the design of the wallpaper mean?
Yeah.
Oh, the parents were just like, oh, yeah,
they thought they were adorable.
Aren't they so smart? Looking at all of us. Aren't they so good?
You know that,
You're welcome for this tour, everybody.
This face. How would you describe this face?
Oh, just fucking, proud.
That's their face. Just like this weird draggy face to the left of pride. And you're just like, these are not good questions.
Horrible, stupid questions.
I wanted to know as soon as she told us, like, she was told all these spirits were going, like, every gun that killed somebody, she would be haunted and ravaged by these spirits. My first question is, how many people died at these guns?
Right.
That would have been a dope question and given me more perspective on how many spirits I was about to run into. You know?
And it's not, I guess.
Did she know she was going to die? How stupid are you?
Not your typical place to propose to somebody because, this woman lost her child. She lost her husband. It's kind of a house of death.
It is.
It is a house of death.
It is.
Which is kind of our thing, though. So it's like, it makes sense. We're kind of switching those vibes around.
We're making
it. Where were we?
Positive.
So we do the tour. Obnoxious kids. Not even obnoxious kids. Oh, and then there was this other couple in front of us. And there's like this washroom, one of the rooms that has like sinks in it. And they're like, please, hands off everything. Like, so many people have touched over the years that the shit's getting ruined in here.
So there's 3 sections of this sink. And 3 separate sinks.
Yeah.
And on top of each sink, they had this board that they would put so that it becomes an entire counter.
Yeah.
So the group leader, the guide said, please refrain from touching anything.
Yeah.
But especially those boards, we only have one left. And because of the constant touching, we've lost the other two. And this couple in front of us,
oh my God.
it's almost as if, by the way, it was almost as if as soon as they were told not to, they were involuntary. Like I can't, it's the only way I can assume.
Yeah.
Because who else, running their hands
this guy
along
went
it.
over every inch
Poking
of this
it.
sink.
He had to touch it, and then he would look at his wife or whatever and fucking touch it in front of her face, and then she'd go and touch it.
Oh my God.
And I was losing my mind because you know how I am about preserving. And
this is old shit too. Like,
it's like they have one left, bitch, and she just said not to.
yeah. Google the Winchester Mystery House, nuts. It's fucking a beautiful place.
Another funny fact is that, before we get to the rest of the story, is that the guide kept on telling Sean and I, like, okay, when we first started the tour, she would wait for everyone to get in the room.
Yeah.
She'd wait, and we were like, oh, we're waiting for 2 stragglers. And Sean and I would hear that all the time. Oh, let's wait. And then in one room, the way you walk in, we then became the end because we were in the front.
Yeah.
And we've got all these kids between us. So they were taking a little minute to get to the group.
Yeah.
But by the time we would get to the room, she's halfway through
Not
the
waiting
information
for us.
and not waiting for us. And then Sean was like, we need to take a picture in here. And I was like, all right. So we wanted to take our mask down. We stepped away from everybody.
Nobody was near us. The nearest person to us was like 15 feet away, maybe 20 feet away from us.
Right.
In a totally different room.
Totally different room. And now I get why Sean wanted to make sure we get a picture in the house and stuff.
But we were in the doorway, so you were able to still see us and what we were doing, and we could
Right.
see them in the other room.
So Sean takes down his mask for me to take a picture of him. And from the other room, she's like, sir, please put your mask back on.
Excuse me, sir?
You need to have a mask on. And it was like, oh, God. So we didn't even get the picture. But then later.
No, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, we got
I
the
thought one of
pictures.
us only got a picture.
No, we both did.
Oh, okay. But then later on, she puts on our Instagram. They were the loveliest couple.
yeah.
I enjoyed you guys so much.
We'll get to that, though.
Okay, all right.
So we go through the tour, and then the tour's done. Hour later,
tour done.
and there's beautiful gardens all around the house on the land. And it's just this random fucking giant-ass mansion in this area now. It's got buildings all around it now because they're just building San Jose all around it now.
Yeah, it's like an eyesore. Like San Jose is an eyesore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Winchester's beautiful, and then you're like, oh,
Yeah,
there's an
San
eyesore.
Jose used to be pretty, but now it's just,
Yeah.
it's gross looking. And this beautiful mansion and gardens are in the middle of it. But anyway, so the gardens. So I'm like, that's it. That's where I'm going to do it, in the gardens. And I want to do it in the front of the house because it's so big. That was a plan when we had booked the
Tickets.
the trip. I was like, I'm going to do it in the front. Because I remember I thought that there was like a place that I'd be able to hook the arm tripod thing on for the camera. I was like, there's a place I could hook it. So it's going to be the
didn't
front.
even end up bringing.
Yeah. Didn't need to. Didn't need to.
Luckily, we'll
No,
find
didn't
out.
need to. I told you, stars aligned, son. You are so lucky.
Okay, go back to the story.
And so we're walking through the gardens.
Mm-hmm.
And we're enjoying the outside of the house.
And we're doing haunted air.
We start to actually do some haunted air pictures and videos and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
because I was going to cut it together for haunted air, which, by the way, I still haven't put anything up
No.
because I just made the video.
Well, now I gotta fucking
You couldn't
farting.
hear it.
Ton of other stuff that we're doing now.
So-
Walking through the gardens, looking at the outside of the house. Bethany has no idea, and I'm just thinking, we got it. This is it. Game time.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And by the way, for everyone who asks me, and I'm sure you guys are thinking, how do I not feel him being all weird and nervous and all
I'm
this
weird
stuff?
in public places.
And yes, so it's a group setting. Sean is always like that.
I get red and sweaty
And he
around
gets sweaty
people.
and he can't talk and he gets weird. Like sometimes we need to stay places longer. Sometimes he needs to move and we got to get out.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
to
yeah.
me, he's being completely normal in public.
Yeah.
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 Okay, go
So
ahead.
that's what's going on. And gardens. And then we start doing video of the door that's outside, the door to nowhere it's called, that just opens up and you can see it from the outside. It just drops. So we do videos, and I'm like, this is going to be a great spot. And I find this little trash can that I can put the phone on. And we tried. We were doing like, because you have a little timer on iPhones where you can count down to 3 or whatever.
We should have kept those pictures because it's just
Don't
a picture.
you still have them? They're probably still in your deleted photos.
Oh, okay,
actually.
we'll keep them, and that's what we should put on.
So the trash can was so far away from where we were standing, like every time, like you just see me running.
It's just
from
a
the camp,
blurry
from the phone.
Sean running.
And Bethany's just
Me
standing
going like
there.
making a face.
They're fun. We should actually post those
That's
too.
what I'm saying. That's what we should put on Acon. And again, I still have no idea. Here I am thinking, and he was like, and then you were telling me like, don't smile. Let's just do haunted air pictures
Haunted
first.
air pictures, yeah. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a couple haunted air photos, so it seemed like we were doing that. Then I was going to hit record, and I was going to run over while we were standing there and posing for another picture. Then I was going to stop, and I was going to turn you to the side. Anyways, that didn't happen.
That's not what happened,
But so, anyways, these two other random lovely young ladies were there taking photos. They were little goth girls.
Sarah and Rachel.
And they were taking videos and selfies of themselves and stuff like that. So, and I didn't even notice, but Sarah had a camera, like a nice camera. I had no idea. I didn't even realize it. Like I saw them taking pictures, but it didn't occur to me like she could take pictures of us while we're doing this.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. So they approach us and they're like, "Oh, do you want us to take pictures of you guys?
Because we were
take pictures of us." And
yeah, we were waiting. Well, first of all, Sean was maybe not even realizing how long you were taking trying to make the phone camera stand up. Like you were just doing.
It took like 5 to 8
everything.
minutes.
You were using a water bottle. You were using the sweatshirt. You were using and it just kept falling or whatever. And then when you finally did get it, and they were standing behind us, we were waiting for all those people to move.
Yeah,
remember?
there's outside tours happening. So there's groups of people
who were like bombarding the front beauty.
And quick interjection, I was wearing my button-up Shining T-shirt. That's the what is that
the
called?
Carpet.
But what is that called? The
rug?
The material, the way it looks. It's
pattern.
The pattern of the carpet in The Shining. And there were fucking 2 other people there that were wearing the same shirt.
It wasn't the exact same, but it was the pattern.
But they had the pattern button-up shirts. There was a chick that worked there that had it, and she came walking up.
She had the exact one of you.
Yeah, and I pointed at her, and I was like, "Oh!" And she pointed at me. And then while we were waiting to do the haunted air photos, where I was about to propose up front, there was like this dad-looking guy. And
with a tinier of it.
With a smaller
pattern.
version and like a wider version of it, obviously a cheaper version. But his wife looked at me. And she pointed at me, and she gave me that nod
like he would
of approval.
Oh, I thought
but we hadn't seen him yet, so I looked at her. I was like, "Does she know I'm going to propose? Like, what is going on?" In my head, I'm like, "What is going on right now?" And then her husband came slowly up, and he's like, "Yeah." We looked at each other and gave each other like the dad thumbs up, and right approval. So we had to wait for that tour in the front.
So while we were waiting, and Sean kept still trying to figure out how to make this camera work. That's when Rachel was like, "Hey, if we take pictures of you guys, will you take them of us?" And Sean was like, "Yes, absolutely. That'd be awesome." And then the tour moved over, and then go ahead.
Right, that was it. So I told...
you told me to go stand by the fountain.
We used Bethany's phone because she has a bigger gigabyte phone than I do. So we were using her phone. So you were standing there as I was giving it to them. And I was going to tell them. So I was like, "Babe, just go stand closer to the front. Go." So I kind of shooed her away, and she went, what was that, like 10 feet away or something like that?
At least, yeah.
And then I hand the phone over, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm about to propose to her, so I'm just going to hit a video. Cool, do you mind?" And she was like, "Oh," and the chick was like, "Oh, my God." Was it
Rachel?
Rachel was like, oh, my God, okay. And it was just, cute little reaction.
And she's the one who told Sarah to take pictures because she was like, "Take pictures,
I didn't even
take
think about that.
Yeah.
And that's what she said in the video, I think.
That's what she did. So then that way we, guys, I mean, talk about stars align.
Yeah.
We have video of it.
We have
professional photos of it.
Amazing so it looks like it was
We have documentation of the whole day leading up to it.
It looks staged because that's how well it looks.
That's how many, even my mom was like, "Did you recreate this?"
Yeah.
And I was like, No, this
No.
is genuine.
Oh, if you watch the
real.
video.
I mean, as soon as you watch us, you don't even hear it because I didn't want to I had some sort of caption on there for a lot of the stuff. But during the words that you told me, I was like, I'm just going to let them try to hear it. I'm not going to write it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then everyone who's watched it, literally all my friends who I know very well, who can text me.
Yeah.
I mean, probably 25 people were like, "Oh my God, I'm in tears.
Yeah.
That was so beautiful." And it's like, you can't even hear it. You
It's
just
so
see our
sweet.
faces.
I'm so sweet.
That's how amazing of people we are, that when you
so
watch our love,
sweet.
it kind of like symbiotic. It's what's the word? The plants, the osmosis
Yeah.
into your fucking bloodstream
Just beauty.
to your heart of love. And we just fucking boom shakalaka your fucking tear ducts. And then you're crying from our amazing love.
Yeah.
Watch us get divorced in 2 years.
So, hand the camera off, and I've got, weeks of practice. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that. I'm going to stand by her for a second and make it look like we're
Remember,
posing.
he made himself cry in front of the mirror.
And then I'm going to pose like we're doing it. And then I'm going to turn and do the thing. So anyways, instead of all that, instead of posing for a photo, I just walked right up to her
me.
and grabbed both her hands and,
By the way, when you ask somebody to marry him, you definitely don't grab both their hands.
yeah, it looked like we were getting, the photos look like we're getting married.
It looks like we're getting married or something horrible happened. So just know that
Yeah.
when Sean came out to me, I don't know what's going on.
She had no idea.
We're supposed to be taking pictures. I have these two lovely women, but they're strangers now taking pictures of us where we're not looking at the camera and we're not taking Haunted Air pictures. He just starts, because you got real teary-eyed and red, obviously.
So the tears, when I practiced it, the tears came after like the fourth line, like I can't imagine my life without you. Just the thought of marrying you makes me smile. Like that stuff would bring to,
Yeah,
But
sweet.
Instead, the tears started immediately.
Immediately.
In my eyes.
Yes.
So Bethany's looking worried, like I'm about to tell her I relapsed
Yeah,
or some
that's
shit.
what I thought.
So she looked worried, and I'm like, you're the most smartest woman I know. That was supposed to be like fourth or fifth down the line, by the way.
No, that was first.
You're the kindest woman.
No, you didn't say that one. You said just the only ones you said, funniest and smartest. And smartest was first.
You're the smartest woman I know.
I wish. I am the kindest,
then
so
I was
it was
just like-
weird it wasn't added.
And you're the funniest woman I know. And
I've ever met.
I've ever met.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine my life without you. I think I said I love you
said-
so much too. I said more stuff because
No,
it was
you
longer.
said a total of 4 lines, and it was you're the smartest woman I've ever
And that was-
met.
that was supposed to
one.
be like fourth.
Yeah,
that
and
was
you're the
supposed to be fourth,
funniest
and
woman
then-
I've ever known.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine my life without you. And every time I think about you in my life, like every day or something like that, it makes me smile. That was it.
Oh God, look at that. That line's making me tear up again. I am so sweet. So
Wow.
that's what happened. And then I got sweaty.
And then he just
and I
dropped.
got clatty. And then like almost mid-sentence, I just dropped to my knee. Like I
Yeah.
completely was like, I can't even talk right now anymore.
Yeah.
And then I dropped to my knee, and the sun is just glaring in my eyes.
Yeah.
So if you watch the video, I'm just squinting.
He gets a
with
little
one
sunburn
eye.
after.
I was fucking crispy. And I was like, will you marry me? That's how I said it, too.
I know.
With my eyes squinting.
You weren't. I don't even know if you were down completely yet. Like as you were going down.
I did. I waited till I opened the
good.
box to do it. I
you
got down
did?
on my knee.
Okay.
I reached in my pocket. I opened it. And I said, will you marry me? And then you just said, yes.
I went, I think I said at one point,
You
I
said,
was like, babe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
And then I
did.
go, oh, yes. And then you put the ring on my finger.
And then we hugged and kissed. And
No. Then I go, oh, God, that's a lot.
Oh, yeah. When you noticed the ring, you said, that's a lot. And
Yeah.
then I, of course,
It's huge.
me being a people pleaser and a codependent, I kept saying, I had so much to say. I'm so sorry. Like, I had so much more to say.
Well, and then you stopped them from recording and taking pictures of us where it was like we could have still been in our moment.
I know.
You ran to them like
Because
you
I
were
didn't
putting
wanna,
them
oh,
out.
Then I thought about putting them out. And then
But
it's
they
like,
were so
I know.
I mean, guys, we we're now, following each other. They're so, they said to me that it was the highlight of their trip
I know,
and possibly their year.
In that moment, I thought, we were putting them out. Like, I didn't want to detain them anymore.
Right.
Any longer.
So
it had already been, it probably wasn't even, it was like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
probably.
it's not long. It's so short now that I cut our entire trip together.
Yeah.
And the whole thing's like 3 minutes. And we put in the whole engagement, the whole asking.
Yeah.
The proposal, that's it.
So that was the
our
whole
adorable
engagement.
love story.
San Jose, and then we went up to this beautiful town up north, even
like
further
a
deeper
vintage
in
cowboy
gold mining town.
Yeah, gold mining town
called Sutter Creek, and stayed at this bed
It's
and
so
breakfast.
adorable. It's really small,
Yeah.
and it's one main street, but all the food we had was great.
Yeah.
And all the people that we met, I shouldn't say all, there were a few different places we went into. And what I did notice was they were either amazingly sweet, wanting to hear about us
Yeah.
and learn about us. But then we had those like 3 random people.
Well, it was like the one random kind of hip pub place where they kind of just like didn't want to work.
Yeah,
The
they looked at us
workers.
walk in, and we thought it felt like a horror movie when like you drive into a small town because your car broke down or something,
Yeah.
and you open the door and they all look at you really slow.
Yeah,
and
it definitely
like
felt like that.
nobody asked if we wanted to be seated or if we were hungry or if we're going to eat there. Like, and I feel like we slowly backed out. Like, we didn't even turn around. We were just
Yeah.
like, we're leaving this place. And then we went into like a couple stores, and I felt like 2 of the stores, the owners didn't want anything to do with us. Like, it was like a retail, cute antique shoppy thing. And we didn't get a hello. Remember, then she left.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, at least they trust us in their store.
Yeah.
But she didn't say hello. She didn't say goodbye. She didn't say anything. And then it's like night and day, because we go to the next store and we have a half-hour conversation with this dope-ass lady who, I can't remember her name now, but just so wonderful and sweet.
We call her Opal or something like that.
Opal, right? Yeah.
She still looked like an opal.
She did. And but it was just so sweet. We went antiquing because that's what we love doing. And then it was
And there's a
great.
casino up there.
And there's a casino, so we did do that.
So that was another good.
Lost my ass.
Yeah, same. But it was another good thing to
Like a fun thing.
Not let the idea that anything else was going to happen. We were just in a fun
Right.
Halloween weekend, casino, Old Town, Winchester Mystery House, and
It was so cute and fun. And I will say that, and please let us know, like, put it on any of our social media or on any of the streaming platforms, like where you can comment, and give us your experiences when you guys got engaged. But I know we kind of talked about this, but we felt different.
we felt different. We felt more adult.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is like, we've been together 6 years, but for whatever reason, this trip even felt different.
Yeah, it did.
Like the first night where we were engaged, spending time, it was also the first time we've ever paid for a room that nice. And like,
That was expensive, yeah.
it was a bed and breakfast. It was like, and we didn't know this at the time, but
There's
we were
probably
told.
better ones, too.
Oh my God, there's got to be so much better. They didn't even have a bath mat. Like, come on. I think the price said it was a really great place, but what we got, like if it was in a normal city, people would be like, I'm not staying here.
Yeah.
But the what was I saying? Oh, about the adulthood.
Yeah.
But like we got there and Sean and I sat on the bed and we were like, what do we do now?
That's
like,
exactly what happened. After we got engaged, we're like, so what the fuck do we do now? Like,
Yeah.
what do we do? Do
Well-
we check in with somebody? Like, do we need to call somebody? Like, who do we talk to
like,
about this
What
now?
is this? What do we do?
What's next?
Yeah. And then I remember right after, even from the Winchester house, we got in the car and 2 things happened. The first thing Sean says to me is, should we get life insurance policies?
I did say that.
And I was like, what
Oh.
the fuck are you talking about?
And funny enough, I got life insurance today.
But it was just creepy a little bit for me because it's like you just hooked me up.
We were just silently driving through this beautiful neighborhood in the mountains. I just look over at her slowly and say, "Should we get life insurance now?"
And then he cleaned up that mess by being like, "Well, I will. I'll get some first.
Yeah,
I'll get it first, and then we'll get you some."
Yeah.
But
and
now it's on podcast.
And now we found out you can take out life insurance policies on people, and they don't even know it.
Okay, so that better not happen for me because that's scary.
Already
then the next thing that happened right after that, as we drove away, Sean and I were like, "Now what?"
Yeah.
In the car, we're like, "Now what do we do? Like, how does this work?" And so we called my mom, and I was like, "Mom, like, now what?"
What
and
do we do?
She's like, "Well, now you're gonna get married." And I was like, "Yeah, who does that for us?"
Right. Can someone do all the work for us now?
Who does that? Who, like, do we just tell them what we want? And she's like, "Oh my God." She's like, "You have to fucking do the work." And I was like, "Oh, I have to plan it." And then I was just like, this is too much.
Then we rode the buzz of the engagement, bada bing, yada yada, and then a few days go by, and then we starting to plan it. Like we're just starting to figure out a date, and we're trying to figure out the location now. And let me tell you what, folks. Let me tell you what, Nuts. There's a lot of fucking work involved in planning a wedding.
I cried already 3 times because I'm so overwhelmed.
She's been a mess.
She's
been a mess ever since we started planning this thing.
I had no idea what it entailed. Like, I didn't realize that napkins needed to be figured out.
I was thinking probably 8 to 10 grand a good wedding.
Yeah.
No way, people. That's like the down payment on a fucking place.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And we don't even have a big wedding because most of our people are elsewhere. So the chances of them coming out.
It's going to be a small wedding, and Nuts, if you're not invited, please don't take offense to it.
Please.
We love you still.
It's
just the same.
also because we want to buy a house someday, and if we have this wedding and invite everyone we would like to.
Now, if you would like to
that would be a house.
If you would like to attend, you can go ahead and donate to us. I mean, if you want to donate a couple hundred, we'd be more than happy to invite you.
We did say the highest bidder of donations.
Yeah.
You could get 2 seats to our wedding.
You sit at the table with us.
Which, not for nothing, the things we've already decided are going to happen are fucking fun.
It's going to be banging.
A. And 2, they are unlike anything else.
It's going to be banging.
Yeah. So there you go.
Hit us up. A couple grand will probably cover your way. And that's not including your stay and dinner and all that. It's just you give us thousands of dollars, and then you can come hang out with us. You'll still have to pay for your traveling and all that.
That, but we'll pay for the dinner, obviously.
We'll obviously cover your dinner.
Yeah. Just
for an extra $200.
You're basically an invited guest. So you would get everything that, say, my dad's getting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you would have to cover all your travel and where you're staying and all of that. But that day, you would be set for that reception. Yeah, and just ask us for our Venmo.
And that's
and we'll give it to you.
You can come. Okay?
And, by the way, anyone who donates to our cause of us buying our house and our lives together, you will get a shout out.
Definitely going to get a shout out on the
podcast. All right?
Definitely.
Yes.
Is there anything else you wanted to say on planning the wedding?
I mean, yeah, if you really want me to go into it, I will. But
or do you want to save that for another time?
That's what I thought.
Okay. Because we were rolling and a bowling here. We did the damn thing.
Yeah, because I feel like it's a different energy than the engagement. The engagement was
so
perfect.
Then we're going to keep going. And I want to talk about this. So we're going to keep going. We're not going to stop and take a break.
No, we are.
Oh, we are. So we got to hit them with that. So we got to hit them with that news right now. The nuts, yeah. About us taking a couple weeks off.
We can yes, we're going to have one more after this. There'll be one more.
No, this is episode 30.
Oh, it is?
So I wanted to kind of hang on a high note.
Oh, okay. So then when we come back, we're going to talk about all the wedding shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, yes.
So we're going to hit you with some bad news right now, Nuts. Yeah. After all that beautiful story and that beautiful, great, good news.
Yeah.
Couple of Nuts is going to be taking a few weeks off.
We need time to fuck.
We got to fucking fuck.
We got to fuck like an engaged couple.
Since we got engaged, I've been rocking semi-hard-ons the whole time, but I'm not fully hard. I'm ready to go at all times.
At all times.
So
that's how the ring stays on.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take a couple weeks off, but don't fret because you can go back and listen to all 30 episodes.
Here's the good news. You have 30 hours minimum
Crazy. So
to listen to.
So we can call this the end. So we'll do seasons of this show. This is the last episode of season 1, and season 2 will be back before you even know it.
Yeah, just taking some, think of it as a holiday break.
It's a holiday break because, by the time this... No, I guess I will be around after Thanksgiving. I don't know. But it's the holiday time. We got a lot of fucking shit to do.
Oh, my God.
And this podcast take a little bit of time.
It takes a lot of time. Don't minimize the greatness that we do for these people.
I promise we'll be back. It might be a month. I don't know. It might be less than a month.
We're not going to put a date on it.
No.
Because we need to set all this shit.
But go follow us at ACON Podcast and a Couple of Nuts Podcast on Facebook to stay updated where we are.
And we are going to try and post more on that. At least we could do posts.
We got to step that up.
Yeah. We promise. I know some people have asked, you said you'd post this when we hear it. So I get it. And we're terrible at it. I'm not going to lie. Sean's good at it, but I'm not.
I'm good at it when I'm not busy. But 30 episodes. And thank you everybody who stuck with us since the beginning, and even everybody who chimed in halfway through or just came aboard. Thank you all so much.
And we're going to task you guys with something since we have been doing such good hard work, and that our break is really a lot of hard work for our wedding.
Yeah.
And fuckings.
Yes.
The task is share this.
Share us, guys.
Okay? When you're listening to past episodes again, or maybe it's your first time going back to square one, and something hits you, you're laughing, you love it, you think someone would relate or resonate with what we're talking about, or really enjoy it, send it to them. Just share. On Anchor, you can share. On Apple Podcasts, you can share. Write some comments. Give us also comment on shit and give us ideas for the next season.
Yes. What do you want us to talk about, Nuts? If you have my phone number, text me some stuff. If you don't have my phone number, message us on any of our social media platforms and let us know what you want us to talk about.
Oh, isn't it weird? It's like saying goodbye for a little bit.
Yeah, we are saying goodbye for a little bit.
I'm going to miss you guys, even though I never see you while we're doing this.
We are saying goodbye for a little bit.
All right, guys. Have a wonderful holiday season.
We love all of you so much.
We do.
And we will be back.
Yep.
And like we just said.
We also have a cooking show on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
We have a first season of that. A Couple of Nuts Cooking. Go to my YouTube, just Bethany Dwyer. And just hit the Couple of Nuts actual series. And all 12 or 11 are there.
That's it.
That's fun stuff too. All right.
Oh, gosh.
I'm tired.
Me too.
All right.
All right, Nuts. Stay nutty, everybody.
Bye for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kimpses. I usually do the other part.
Yeah.
That's why.
Do you want to do the other part?
Stay nutty, everybody.
Bye for now.
Kimpses.
Bethany and Sean. We are a couple of nuts talking